At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
At GEBE, our commitment extends beyond utilities. It's about exceptional service. Meet the heart of the operation, the customer service team. With a friendly voice and a helping hand, we're here to address your concerns. Whether it's a billing question or a technical issue, we're dedicated to finding solutions. Your satisfaction drives us. We listen, we act, and we make a difference. GEBE, the power to serve.
And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait a bit. Tell me how to wait a more. Tell me all that I should know. And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait a go. Tell me how to wait a bit. To evoke some empathy. And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait a go. Tell me how to wait to see. Show me all that I could be.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. Special edition of the Late Night Show. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? We begin with some very interesting news. On Saturday afternoon, the lovely governor received a letter from Minister candidate Rayon Peterson. No, he didn't let it go. You know how these people is. Short man syndrome is real. He ain't letting it go. He's not gonna go over it. He's not gonna say, okay, I guess I can't become minister. Let me just stay chief of staff of Romy. Nope. He wants to be minister and he wants to know why. Pete, please give me a Ray Peterson throwing a tantrum.
You're so mean!
Give me that candy right now. Did you just kick yourself?
I think it's just like that. But it's rightfully so. In his letter, he was very explicit. He was specific. He was to the point. I must say, whoever is his ghostwriter, because that letter was on point, basically telling Ajamu Bailey, our governor recently appointed by the National Alliance government, that you don't like me, so that's why I can't become minister. Well, I don't like you too. He didn't say it in those words. AI, talk to me.
At 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, St. Martin Governor Ajamu Bali received a letter from Candidate Minister of Public Housing, Spatial Planning, Environment and Infrastructure Vromi asking the Governor to clarify why he refused to sign the national decree for the appointment of Peterson as Vromi Minister in the just-installed Mercelina-led cabinet. By means of this letter I am addressing you with the request that I, or through the intervention of Prime Minister Luke Mercelina, former formatter, will be informed of the reason, or reasons, that you have refused to establish the national decree presented to you regarding my appointment as Minister of Vromi. It was demonstrated that I have no criminal record and was never punished for a crime. In the judgment in which it was proven that I pushed the person who caused the accident, the Joint Court of Justice came to the decision that given the circumstances of the case and the relativity of the push, no punishment will be imposed on me, Peterson wrote in his letter to the Governor. who received a copy of the verdict as attachment. Despite the fact that you have received my verdict and have been able to read the circumstances in which I pushed the person who caused the accident, you have apparently come to the conclusion solely on the basis of this incident that I should not be regarded as having sufficient integrity to hold the office of minister. Apparently you have a personal view of my person, and you have decided that I should be punished for facts that have already been dealt with by the court in their judgment. Although this is also interesting in general for my case, I would like to note for the record that no law on St. Martin stipulates that a conviction, let alone a conviction without punishment, stands in the way of an appointment as a minister. You mentioned that you do not create laws, but merely sign them, Peterson noted. However, in the same breath, you reference customary law that you apply, which appears to contradict your earlier statement about solely signing laws. Customary law, after all, is not codified in written form and therefore cannot be formally signed. There are clearly defined criteria in the literature for establishing unwritten rules such as customary law. The lack of transparency surrounding the screening process, which renders the assessment ambiguous, results in a dearth of legal certainty and resembles arbitrariness. The April 24 press release from the governor's office has damaged my reputation and raised doubts about the outcome of my screening, thus affecting my integrity, the candidate minister stated. Due to the failure to justify your decision to me and other stakeholders before the publication of your press release, I believe that several general principles of good administration have been violated in my case, notably including the principles of diligence, justification, and fairness. Peterson pointed out that, based on Article 21 of the Governor's Regulations, Peterson's unsigned national decree must be immediately submitted for review to the King, as head of the government of the kingdom. I would like to know from you on what grounds stated in the aforementioned article, in this case the statute, International Regulations, Kingdom Act, AMVRB, interests whose care and safeguard is a matter of the kingdom, this will happen, Peterson concluded in his letter to Governor Bally.
Yeah. Same reaction you have, I had. I was like, damn! Okay, talk about having a monkey on your back. Anyway, let's jump into, of course, the swearing in of our honorable ministers on Friday. The swearing in ceremony is here. We have the footage. We made our own late night version of it because the government version is kind of boring. So, make it exciting. All right, take a look at the swearing in ceremony and, of course, some of the comments of the governor. Not all, because that thing was long, but just a good piece.
Chair Lady of Parliament, members of Parliament, we are here today on the occasion of the appointment and swearing in of the Prime Minister, ministers, and the Minister and Deputy Minister of Plenipotentiary, all on the basis of and as a result of the unwritten rules and constitutional norms that our country has been consistently applying and carrying out since October 10th, 2010, and that we have been adhering to even before that in the days of the Netherlands Antilles. Those unwritten rules, constitutional norms, are the norms that dictate that a majority in Parliament is responsible for nominating the ministers for appointment. Similarly, we have consistently been applying and carrying out another set of unwritten rules, constitutional norms, since October 10th, 2010. And we have been adhering to those unwritten rules, constitutional norms, since even before that, in the days of the Netherlands Antilles as well. Those unwritten rules, constitutional norms, are the norms that dictate that candidate ministers ought to be screened in order to ascertain if the conduct of a candidate minister is impeccable. And to be clear, as governor, I sign the laws, but I am not a lawmaker. It is not my task, nor within my authority, to change these norms. That is the role of the legislator. I simply apply them and adhere to them. St. Martin's governing system is that of a parliamentary, democratic rule of law. Democratic because we, the people, elect our representatives. Parliamentary because those representatives are elected to serve in Parliament. And the rule of law because a majority in Parliament, in turn, selects a group of candidate ministers that have the trust of that majority to serve in the executive branch, government. A government that is tasked with carrying out the duties of the country in accordance with the law. The government is bound by the law, just like everyone else. No one, not even government, is above the law. This is the rule of law, the aim of which is to protect the people of St. Martin from abuse of power by dividing the powers in the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch, the branch that has just taken the oath before you here today. An oath to upholding that rule of law, and in doing so, no matter how difficult, consistently and resolutely putting the country's interest above personal and individual interest. This is not always as easy as it seems. That is why we screen candidates for these positions, in order to protect the St. Martin people from those that would be acting in self, personal, or individual interest, and therefore being unfair to others and not putting the country's interest first. Every one of these individuals here today, the Prime Minister, ministers, Minister and Deputy Minister Plenipotentiary, who have freely given up their direct democratically obtained seat in Parliament, as well as those not elected to Parliament, in order to be indirectly democratically appointed to these positions in government, are screened to protect us, the people of St. Martin. Likewise is the case for other indirectly democratically obtained positions in government, such as members of the High Council of State, Council of Advice, General Audit Chamber, Ombudsman, as well as Governor. Candidates for these positions are also screened and are also indirectly democratically appointed. The latter, as is the case for these appointed today, does not in any way diminish their legitimacy. The fact that all these positions are indirectly democratically appointed does give reason for a screening to take place. It is necessary for the public to have confidence and trust in those persons taking up those functions. As a result, and in line with practices of good governance, those candidates are screened to ensure that they are capable of carrying out the functions they are about to be entrusted with and that they are competent and integer individuals. I would like to thank formateur Dr. Luc Mercelina and everyone who contributed to this formation process, culminating in this, our new government. The formation process, and in particular, the screening, as well as the role of the governor, seems to customarily be the subject of much discussion during this process, but more so this time around, I dare say, than in years before. At the completion of the full governing term of 4 years, and as we witness here today, the peaceful transition of power, let us not take that for granted. When we look globally, and right here in our Caribbean, we see that democracy, freedom, the rule of law, and peace are principles that should not be taken for granted and that they have to be fought for continuously. As individual ministers, collectively as the Council of Ministers, as government, it is your task to protect, support, and maintain these principles and ensure that the people of St. Martin do not lack of these in any way. I wish you much dignity, wisdom, and discernment, not only in your deeds, but also in your conduct, individually and collectively, particularly considering the oath you have just taken to the King, the statute, the Constitution, and to the people of St. Martin. I leave you with an excerpt from the preamble to our Constitution, of which you have just taken the oath. We, the people of St. Martin, being determined to work with each other, declare that we are people that believes in the principle of democracy and the rule of law. Congratulations to every one of you and your family and friends. Congratulations to St. Martin on the installment of our new government. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless St. Martin. Thank you. Congratulations to all of us, the people of St. Martin, on the installation of this, our new government. Cheers. Cheers, Cheers, Prime Minister. Cheers. Cheers.
Of course, after that, the different ministers had some words to say to the country about their perspective portfolios that they're going to be in charge of. And I must say, I laughed a little bit. We're going to start off with the Prime Minister because Prime Minister Luc Mercedina made sure he let the people know that St. Martin is a very special place and we shall overcome this very interesting situation that we're in. But know that at the end of the day, we as St. Martin people will rise from the bottom and we shall go over to another day and St. Martin will be great. God bless you and God bless St. Martin. I didn't even watch the speech, but I bet you it sounded like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. What is this Dr. Marcelina going to say today? Although the protocol has been established, because it's my first speech, I think it's worth it for me to give respect to protocol, and I'm going to start by welcoming the Excellency, his Governor, Mr. Ajamo Bailey, I don't know if his spouse is here. No. President of Parliament, Mrs. Sarah Scott Williams, the members of Parliament here present, the newly sworn-in ministers of this new government, members of the High Councils of State, members of the independent advisory organizations, the immediate past ministers that also did what they had to do, and also the civil servants, the distinguished guests, and of course, the people of St. Martin. I wish you all a great welcome on this special day. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of St. Martin, today is a day that I stand before you with a heart filled with gratitude and humility. I'm deeply honored and privileged to have been entrusted with the responsibility of leading this nation as your next Prime Minister. I want to extend my sincerest thank you to you, the people of St. Martin, for your confidence in our coalition government and for placing your trust in me as your new Prime Minister of St. Martin. I do believe that cohesion, inclusiveness, and unification are concepts for us to promote and guardian. My fellow St. Martiners, I understand the hope and aspirations that rest upon our shoulders. I recognize the challenges that lie before of us. It's not easy, believe me. But I also see the immense potentials and opportunities that resides within our nation. Together, we have the power to shape our destiny, to build a future that is prosperous, just, and inclusive for all. Let's get more practical. I do believe that this government should focus on the following. First of all, we will have to work on the development of a financial sustainable system to cover the cost of our healthcare of our country. We have to be critical with the limited aid that we give as government to the social welfare of our country. And at least we have to establish a minimum living wage for our society. And we have to start working on something that impresses me every day, seeing our failure to deal with our mental health care in our society. I'm driving around in my car, and every day, and you can agree with me in this one, we see more and more new faces of young people walking next to our roads. And the scary part of it is that we are considering them as normal furniture of the views that you can absorb as someone driving around in St. Martin. It is not even shaking us anymore when we see all those mental challenged young people walking here on the streets and roads of St. Martin. We will have to start being serious with a comprehensive mental health care for country St. Martin. Dear people, the only way to move forward a country like St. Martin is to work on what I call, and everybody calls it, nation building. But there is a difference how I see it. We have to take it out of the context of using that word to use, it's all good for nation building. We have to start now to present our people with tangible developments that will really move their heart, that they realize that something great is happening with their country, offer them a future. Secondly, let's recognize our national university in a way of a national ordinance, in a way that we have it by law registered, in a way that higher education and scientific research is absolutely recognized in our country. The way we are dealing with this USM without giving it a body of a national ordinance is not going to help St. Martin. Think on, for example, something very simple, a well-equipped national library for country St. Martin. Can you imagine we're talking about the concept of country status, and we do not even have a decent national library for our country? I want, as Prime Minister of this country, a national development bank for my people. Even if I get resistance, we are going to push this project. The question that I have is, if the current framework, which is being used for the advancement of nation building, as for example, the 4-country consultation on justice level, on education level, healthcare, the Dutch Caribbean Hospital Association, trying to develop a URSM by looking constantly what Curaçao and Aruba is doing, instead of asking ourselves the question, what are the necessities custom-made for the people of our country? I'm not against Vierlanden overleg for country consultation. I'm just trying to make people critical to look what they're doing every day and asking themselves critically if that is going to bring us where we want to be with this country. What also needs to happen, we must not continue promising people what will happen to this country in 10 years. Let's start with small steps to make all of us proud. This island needs a general cleanup. This island needs beautification with landscaping. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also a few challenges awaiting this new government, and I dare to talk about them today. First of all, as I told you, the huge poverty that is overtaking this country. And as I said, it's now in a phase that it's controlling us in a way that we are losing our values and norms just to survive the day. Secondly, we have to assist and preserve and strengthen our utility company, GEBE. Thirdly, we have to go an extra mile for our telecommunication company, Telem, to do something with GEBE. To save this TLM, we will have to pay attention to sustainability, modernization, capacity expansion, adjustment to infrastructural growth that is surprising us now. We cannot continue building around in the concept of urbanization and development of projects, and we have a utility company that cannot keep up with the demands of the development of the island. I would like also to make use of the opportunity to draw your attention to the following. The governor spoke with passion about it, and I'm going to do it too. In the past 14 years, we have always had challenges with the formation process of new governments. And you know why? Because of the fact that the entire screening process for candidate ministers was not transparent and evident enough. The unwritten constitutional norm has been too loosely used in the past 14 years. We have to acknowledge that. There are a lot of discussions about the legal basis used for certain elements of the screening of candidate ministers. I want you all not to forget this. Don't forget, at the end of the day, the formation of a government of St. Martin is an autonomous right of our country, expressed via the democratic will of our people. People can say whatever they want. It's our autonomous right to form our own government. It is time for a national ordinance for the screening of candidate ministers, and I commit with my government to present this draft law. And just to break the seriousness of what I'm telling you guys here, by the way, we have the impression that it took forever to form this government. I'm going to tell you today, it's not true. In 2020, from the day of election, the 9th of January 2020, till the installment of a government, the 28th of March, it took the system 79 days to form a government. Don't forget, 79. In 2024, me being a formateur, we had our election the 11th of January, and the establishment of this government is the 3rd of May. From the 11th to today is 113 days. But we used 17 days for the informateurs phase that 2020 did not have. So let's start deducting from the 113 days that we took. We're going to deduct the 17 days, and we will come to the conclusion that we took 97 days. So if we deduct now this 97 days, we deduct the 79 days from the government of 2020. From the 96 days of today, we will end up using 17 days more to form a government. I challenge you to take a calendar and start counting the days again. And God bless us all.
Prime Minister Luc Mercelina. I see him already driving the Audi, driving him all over town, and he just there like so huge in the Audi. Listen, somebody get him a bigger car. Jesus Christ! Somebody call Maxud. Oh, you see him? This like his head is all the way to the roof. of the Audi, and he's like, just driving, He's not. He's being driven, I should say. Anyway, welcome to the Late Night Show. I have a good one for you. When we come back, we got some more speeches of the Honorable Minister.
Oh, hey, did you know I just signed up for Flex by Telem?
Do you mean flex like this?
Definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not Flex like that. Telem's Flex is a mobile plan that adapts to your needs. Each month, I get a preset monthly fee that has a set amount of data, SMS, and minutes, so I know what I'm getting. But say goodbye to overages and bill shock, because when I go over my postpaid plan, it switches to prepaid, so I have the flexibility to top up what I need when I need it. I'm in complete control. My budget, my rules.
All right, more ministers, more promises, more things to hold them to for the next couple of months, years, maybe months, maybe days, maybe weeks. I don't know. Let's see.
Good day to the people of St. Martin. I am deeply honored and humbled to sit before you today as the Minister of Justice for our beloved nation. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit for granting me the incredible opportunity to serve our people. As the first St. Martin-born law enforcement officer to hold this esteemed position, I understand the weight and the responsibility placed upon my shoulders. It is a privilege to lead our justice system and work tirelessly to ensure the safety and security for every citizen. My journey to this position has been filled with challenges, but it has also been guided by faith, determination, and deep love for our country. I believe that God has been preparing me for this role, equipping me with the skills, wisdom, and resilience needed to bring about positive change. As candidate number 10 on the Now political platform, and now the 10th Minister of Justice, only speaks about completion. I see this not only as a personal achievement, but as a testament to the strength and resilience of our people. Together we have overcome obstacles and faced adversity with courage and determination. I sit before you today with a firm commitment to serve the people of St. Martin with integrity, transparency, accountability. My vision for our country is one of unity, progress, and prosperity for all. I believe that by working together, we can overcome any challenges that lie ahead and build a brighter future for generations to come. With the support of my esteemed colleagues in government, the dedicated members of our law enforcement agencies, and the unwavering spirit of our people, I am confident that we can achieve great things. Together, we will strengthen our justice system, uphold the rule of law, and ensure that justice is served for all. I am deeply grateful for the trust and confidence placed in me, and I am committed to fulfilling my duties with honor, dignity, and dedication. Let us move forward with courage and determination, knowing that together we can make a difference and build a better St. Martin. I thank you.
Good day, my fellow St. Martiners. First, allow me to express my deepest gratitude to our Heavenly Father for his unwavering guidance and blessings. Without his grace, having me stand here before you today as the newly appointed Minister of Finance for the people of St. Martin would not be possible. I humbly accept this opportunity to serve my country, being acutely aware of the gravity of this function. I have fully prepared myself to take on the challenges, responsibility, and accountability inherent to the finance portfolio. I am incredibly grateful to the membership and leader of the Democratic Party, the Honorable Mrs. Sarah Westcott Williams, for placing trust and confidence in me. Your nomination is not just a recognition of my abilities, but also a reflection of our shared commitment to serving our nation with integrity and dedication. I owe a debt of gratitude to the remarkable women who have paved the way for individuals like me. Their strength, resilience, and determination have allowed for this momentous time in our history as I proudly stand before you as the first female Minister of Finance of St. Martin.
That is really nice. So thank you so much for
With
watching.
this historic
Until
milestone
tomorrow,
comes
do have a
great
see you in person. One.
responsibility. I am committed to leading by example and to serving as a role model for future generation of women leaders. To those extraordinary women whose shoulders I stand on, I offer my sincerest appreciation. The Ministry of Finance is the engine for not only the existence, but at this juncture, the very survival of the economy of St. Martin, a portfolio on which each and every ministry is dependent, and one which will be constantly subject to heavy scrutiny, not only by the local public, but also by other member countries within the kingdom. I am cognizant of the fact that to be successful in my new role, my ministry needs to enjoy the trust, the buy-in, and cooperation of other colleagues in government, community leaders, and most importantly, each individual citizen of the island. I realize that trust and confidence in me as your Minister of Finance can only be earned through the systematic and relentless tackling of the significant financial challenges facing our people today, such as the rising cost of living, economic inequality, the need for sustainable growth, the preservation and protection of our environment, our history, culture, and everything that makes us unique and stand out as a people, as a country. I assure you that with the assistance of the persons in my ministry and my colleague ministers in government, I will approach these challenges with diligence, transparency, and integrity, with an emphasis on transparency. I am committed to policies that promote fairness and opportunity for all. It is essential that our citizens are well informed and empowered to participate in the decision-making process. To this end, my ministry will work closely with ministers across government, our partners in the private sector, and most importantly, you, the citizens who are the heart of this nation. However, I would be only fooling myself if I believe that I will be able to execute my role alone. The success of our beautiful St. Martin and its people is dependent on the involvement of our hard-working civil servants across all ministries, as well as the involvement, input, feedback, and watchful eye of you, the people of St. Martin. I need your assistance to keep my finger on the pulse of the economy and the lives of our people. Together, let us join efforts to bring about the changes that will create a more equitable and prosperous existence for each and every citizen of our beautiful, beloved island.
People of St. Martin, my fellow Swaligans, permit me to begin my inaugural address by first thanking and praising my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this day and for his continued blessings. The Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport, and Telecommunication, which I now have the honor and privilege to lead, is seen as an engine behind an economic development. The state of our economy can only therefore be measured more or less by what happens and doesn't happen in TIAT. While it is my intention to have a quick scan done in order to give a more realistic picture of what our current situation actually is, it does not take a rocket scientist to see that our economy is far from the best shape. True, we have faced some unprecedented challenges in the last decade, including the incredible devastation caused by Hurricane Irma in 2017 and the global shutdown of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. But we can't blame our present predicament on those two events alone. If we start with our Princess Juliana International Airport, we see that it has fallen from being named the best airport in the Caribbean in 2016 to not even being in the top 10 of the best today. True, it suffered massive destructions at the hands of Irma, but how do we explain that what took a couple years to build is taking almost 7 years and counting to repair? The airport is not only the main gateway to our island, it is the heart of our economic activity. There may be days when we do not have cruise calls, but can we stop and imagine a day without planes landing at our airport? That would be like a whole island, our entire island, suffering from a cardiac arrest. That is how important Princess Juliana International Airport is to our economy. 7 years waiting to finally get back on its feet is way too long. In that period, it has lost its hub function as developments in Anguilla, Dominica, and the BVI and elsewhere demonstrate. These islands once considered PGIA their own international airport as well. However, it is unreasonable to expect them to wait until we get our act together. Time waits for no one, and they have moved on, unfortunately. Time is a major economic factor which one cannot buy. It is time for us to realize that simple truth and do whatever is necessary to restore our airport back to its glory days. Similarly, I'm sure you'll still remember when we used to brag about our harbor. We apparently lost those bragging rights as well. Gone are the days, however, when St. Martin Harbor used to be the first to welcome the newest cruise ships to the region. We have seen not long ago how the largest cruise ship in the world made its maiden voyage first to St. Kitts before it called to St. Martin 2 weeks later. We are losing ground in the cruise sector also, and it is time to regain our prime position in that field as well. Do I need to remind you of how Telem has fallen to the point of having layoff employees? Who has not felt the heat of GEBE crisis, from the astronomical bills to the constant load shedding and even blackouts? Or shall I talk about the prohibitive gasoline prices at the pumps? In this atmosphere, inflation has blasted off like a rocket into space. Gone are the days when you spent $100 in a supermarket and needed help to carry your shopping bags into your car. Today, that same 100 of groceries will hardly fill one bag. This is how the ordinary man and women is experiencing our economy today. This is how tough times has become for everyone.
As your new Minister of Public Health, Social Development, and Labor, I am extremely honored to serve everyone in our community in this function, and I endeavor to positively impact your lives. I acknowledge all the work that was done in various areas of this ministry by my predecessors and the dedicated civil servants in the ministry. And after finding out more about the status of these projects, I intend to add my own flavor to those that I think would be beneficial to our people. Recently, we have often spoken about an alarming number of friends, acquaintances, and loved ones passing away, sometimes suddenly and sometimes after long periods of illnesses. Data has confirmed that we do indeed have excess mortality in St. Martin, meaning that significantly more people have died in recent times than the average death rate in previous years. It is imperative that we get to the grounds of this and offer early detection screening, preventative health care, and ensure that our people have access to health care. What is a country without its people? We are only as strong as our social fabric. Countries no longer rate the success of their country solely by the GDP and other economic indicators. What is the use in having a rich and thriving country where the people are struggling and discontented? We must create an atmosphere of prosperity for all through social development, leaving no one behind. The most recent National Labor Force Survey indicated a very low unemployment rate in the country. This underscores the fact that our country is resilient. We continue to bounce back. After the devastation of Hurricane Irma and the pandemic, our people can once more find jobs. We will continue to support those who need that extra attention in order to find their place in the labor market. I am currently also your Acting Minister of Public Housing, Spatial Planning, Environment, and Infrastructure. I take this opportunity to thank the PFP for the confidence shown in me by choosing me as a representative of the URSM to also represent PFP in the Council of Ministers in the interim. I have worked in that cabinet I have worked in the cabinet of the Ministry of VROMI for many years, and I think that I feel confident that with the knowledge and experience that I have gained, we will be able to build up this ministry and have great accomplishments along the way. I am committed to that. In closing, I would like to thank God for always being by my side. I thank my parents for all that they have done to make me the person I am today. I would also like to thank my husband for being my backbone along this new journey in my life. He would say, never a dull moment. I thank my political party, URSM, the board, and Dr. Marcelina, our new Prime Minister, for giving me this opportunity to serve you. I thank the team that I have put together, and who have agreed to join me in serving you. Feel free to call on us. We are here for you. We are here to create a truly prosperous St. Martin. God bless you all.
Okie dokie. That is for the latest show. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, do have a safe and pleasant one. I should say until Monday. Yes, until Monday. Oh, where are my manners? I'm tired. Carnival is over.